How much of the people in the People's Democratic Party are still standing? How formidable are they? What is left of the umbrella? Is it still able to weather this storm? Yes, we're joined by Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, former National Publicity Secretary of the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party. Mr. Ologbondiyan, good morning. It's good to have you on the program.
Good morning, Coyote.
Mr. Ologbondiyan, I'd like to just start by asking, have you tendered your letter of resignation?
No, I haven't. I haven't tendered my letter of resignation.
So you're still a member of the PDP?
I haven't because I have not gone to Kogi State and, to be precise, Kababunu local government to ask the opinion of the people on what modus operandi are we going to adopt. Are we joining those who want to incubate the People's Democratic Party and use it to work for APC and President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Are we moving with those who are moving, or are we remaining neutral? So these are the issues that I need to raise. So I must find time to go to Kababunu local government to talk to people whom I have worked with politically and ask what direction we are going to take.
So right now, you're still a member of the People's Democratic Party and you're working actively for the growth and success of the People's Democratic Party?
That's the proper assessment, Cowdy.
So that's a yes?
I said yes, it's a proper assessment.
Oh, fantastic. So what then are you doing right now to ensure that this umbrella is not carried away in this storm in that sense? What are you actively doing? Because you're a member of the party, you can't be can't be conducting anti-party activities, Mr. Ologbondiyan. So what are you doing? Are you meeting with Governor Makinde, Mr. Nyesom Wike, the chairman of the party, to say, let us ensure that we at least rescue this party?
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate. I think the situation has transcended that level. And that's totally very saddening, but that's a unfortunate reality. Very, very unfortunate.
All right, Mr. Ologbondiyan, let's stay with the People's Democratic Party, and then we can now pick it, because we've seen you at the ADC formal inauguration, when, what do you call it now, when the interim leadership took over. We're going to come to that in a moment. But in terms of prediction, because Seyi Makinde, for instance, the governor of Oyo State, he's still strong with the PDP. We have the governor of Enugu State, perhaps still there. We don't know whether he's going to move. The governor of Osun State, Mishore, the other day, the former secretary of the APC, was talking about the fact that I was begging to join the APC. I don't know how true that is. So we can go round and round. There are even speculations about the governor of Taraba State. What do you see as the future of the People's Democratic Party? Chief Body George, I think, was on our show, sister show, the other day, talking about the party that he loves so much. But what do you see as a future? Because it looks like the direction is shifting in terms of the polity. What do you see as the future of the PDP from where you sit?
Geoffrey, I will be honest as always. And I've tried to do an analysis of the situation in the party, and I just mentioned it. And I said, look, the party is in division into three subsectors. There are those who say they are doing strategic alliance. And what strategic alliance translates into is that, oh, let us keep the party and let's allow Tinubu to go. Possibly they wish to work with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's one subsector. The subsector who say no, if you insist on keeping the party unviable, or you keep it in a lethargic situation where it cannot even function as an opposition party, who will look elsewhere. There are also those who said, no, let's just wait for things because we are neutrals. And on this note, I think the governor of Oyo State, Governor Seyi Makinde, totally has my sympathy and possibly support, because he's in a desire to say we can revamp the situation. And in revamping the situation, we can still use it effectively as an opposition political party. But to be honest with you, Geoffrey, to be very honest with you, from the look of things, I don't see how that will manifest. And I say this from a very, very responsible position, because as we speak, Geoffrey, the party is going ahead saying it is organizing congresses. And I find it laughable Because who are those that will even buy from in the first place for you to conduct a Congress? What the party needs at this moment, at this very critical moment of its life, is to go into a convention, replace the leadership, or recalibrate it in a situation wherever it can, and allow a new life to run the party. You see, all the games that are being played now, oh, we want to do congresses in the state, oh, we want to reform the party, with these current people with Damagun and Ayahu and the apex of the party is a joke. And I say with every sense of responsibility, it's a huge joke.
All right, so let's look at, you've talked about those who want to stay in PDP and work for the APC, those who want the party to survive as a standalone, and those who are working with the coalition. So let me begin with the first question. Who are those in the PDP that you think want to work for Bola Tinubu?
You had the former governor of Benue State coming out to speak and said that they are working on a strategic alliance. What is strategic alliance? Strategic alliance simply means that they will work with Tinubu, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's what strategic alliance is, nothing more. So whatever group he represents, having come out publicly to state their own position, it is clear where they are going. You have people who are resigning from the party, like my boss, Senator David Mark, like Atiku, and a host of others who are resigning from the party. Their own position is, you cannot lead me to APC. If I want to go to APC, let me go on my own. But you cannot lead me like a ram that is being led to an abattoir. So because of that, we believe that it's better to find another platform where we can do opposition and do it properly. And there are people in the neutrals, like I mentioned, Sheyi Makinde, who still believe that, oh, we can revamp this party and use it for a purpose.
All right, Mr. Ologbondiyan, it's interesting what is playing out in the PDP, because it's a sad tale. It's to the point that in the Anambra build-up to the primaries of the Anambra State governorship election, nobody picked the party's ticket, form rather, until I think it was just one person, so it was uncontested. So I want to understand what this strategic move, or whatever it's called, is. We have those that were at the vanguard of the G5, Nyesom Wike, Ikpeazu, Okezie, Ogwuanyi, Sheyi Makinde, Samuel Otom. Now, literally all of those persons are technically still in the PDP. And these persons, you said, they are the ones that want to rebuild or revamp or be strategic with the PDP. And they are strong voices, you can't ignore them. Are you afraid that we may see in 2027 an opposition party like the PDP endorsing Bola Tinubu?
Well, it's not impossible. It is totally not impossible. I have mentioned the fact that former Governor Tom has come out to declare that they are looking towards a strategic alliance. And he's certainly not alone. So you have read out names of people that you suspect to be within his zone, or I mean his realm. You have said that. But I want to isolate the fact that Governor Makinde has consistently said he wants to do a neutral, or displayed at his positions towards doing a neutral, which is, oh, let us see how we can revamp the party. Oh, let us do, we can do convention.
So therein, Mr. Ologbondiyan, my apologies. Therein lies the question. Therein lies my question. The people who worked for the failure of the party and who have a cozy relationship with the presidency, how do they want to revamp the party? That's the question. Are we not deceiving ourselves here?
No. Geoffrey, I distinguished the situation within that realm. I said, whereas someone like Governor Otom is looking, and I believe he represents interest, looking towards strategic alliance. Somebody like Governor Makinde, within the same G5 that you were talking about, is saying that let us revamp the party. And I mean, use it as a proper opposition. You understand? So that is the situation in that realm. I also said, there are those who said, no, you can't do opposition the way you are going as PDP. So we will look for another avenue to do this opposition that we want to do. And there are those who said, well, we'll keep looking, we'll keep watching, we are neutrals.
I don't know if you are still a member of the PDP in spirit and in truth, or just in letter. Because you, as has been said, you are at that meeting, the coalition meeting, and perhaps there's hundreds of people like you who are still in the PDP, just in the letter of it, but in spirit and in truth, they're not quite in the PDP anymore. The ship has sailed on that one. But I want us to go even maybe deeper. By the way, you can respond to that. Are you still a member of the PDP in spirit and in truth, Mr. Ologbondiyan?
I don't know the definition of spirit and truth, but I know that as I speak, as I'm seated here speaking, I have not tendered my resignation letter.
But you are the coalition meeting. You are the coalition meeting, Mr. Ologbondiyan.
Wait now. No, I'm not. Will I come here and deny my participation anywhere?
And so are you?
Did I not come out publicly and declare that if a...
Sorry, go on. Please go on.
Yeah, did I not come out publicly on public space and declare that if the FCT minister can be in PDP and be relating in APC, it doesn't stop me from being in PDP and relating the coalition? Did I not say that publicly? So what will I shy away from? What will I run away from? That is the stage they have taken the party to. And there's no pretense about it any longer. And that's where we are. But I have said, I've also said here that I need to visit my home state and ask our people, where are we going? And once they say this is the direction, whatever they ask, I give to them and move on.
All right.
That's where we are.
So you've not drafted your resignation letter. There's no draft somewhere.
Maybe you should write it for me and ask for my signature.
I'm just asking.
But I am ready to do that.
We know some of these drafts exist.
I will bring a copy here.
All right. So let's dig deeper now into I don't know, the thinking, because there's what we see playing out on the surface for a lot of Nigerians, but there's the thinking behind what we're seeing playing out, and I want Nigerians to be able to decipher and understand what is really at play here beyond all the politicking. So you hear the group within the PDP that is working or supporting the ruling party, the president, saying, well, what we want is a better Nigeria, and I want to ensure that the presidency stays in the south and ensure that we don't topple that unwritten agreement. The north does 8 years, south does 8 years, which is what is responsible largely for where the PDP is at today. So for them, the end justifies the means. So they're saying, what's the point if we're doing opposition and then Nigeria is not thriving? How about we work together to have a better nation in that sense? And you've heard the FCT governor saying, you can support the government. There's nothing wrong in that. That's on the one hand. Now, for the coalition, what is it about? And that's why I want you to help us understand the thinking. If it's also about rescuing Nigeria, does that then make what the people in the PDP working with the APC or the government, does it make what they're doing wrong if both of you are trying to achieve the same purpose? I hope you catch my drift here.
Yeah, I got your drift, but if you listen to Governor Tom on Arise yesterday, I use him as a reference point because I see him as spokesperson for a particular group. So if you listen or you watch Governor Tom on Arise yesterday, he made a critical definition of his own understanding of politics, and I believe he speaks for a group. He said politics is about self-interest. There are those of us who believe that politics is about service to humanity, that it's a vocation, and as a result of that, it's for you to serve people. So if there is a situation in which you have, people who say that, politics is about self-interest, to serve oneself, and you have a group of people who are saying that, that's not what politics is. Politics is a vocation, is a calling to serve humanity. They will not work together. That's a fact. They won't work together. So let's leave it here.
No, I'm referring to what the FCT minister said. And we can go on and on about who is a spokesperson or not. But you and I know that the FCT minister is the most vocal, the most powerful, is the lead of that group, whether we like it or not. That is what it is. And he has said that he has chosen to work with this government because he thought about it. First, the Southern presidency bit, he wasn't going to step back on that one. Well, we've heard about the vice presidency nomination. But he's also said he's trying to support this government to have a better nation, to ensure that this government succeeds at making life better for Nigerians. So what I'm asking from his own perspective and what you're trying to do, aren't you trying to achieve the same thing? So does it make theirs wrong?
Well, the basic attraction that I have about democracy is the right of choice. You choose what you want, I choose what I want. And as a result of that, if anybody is coming out to tell you that, oh, he's doing Aswaju to make life better, from the headlines that you shown this morning that I watched here, there's an issue of 2.8 billion US dollars being spent on the refinery, and also, in spite of that, there's an attempt to sell off that refinery. How does that make life better for you and I? Because, and if we go on this track, Cowdy, we can go on and on and on. So for me, it's a matter of choice. They have chosen as opposition members to align with the ruling government. Is their choice. The basic understanding that I have is that at the end of it all, it will be a decision between majority of Nigerians and those who are in government.
I need to just say, pardon me, that the refineries bit is a conversation that we can have all day. Because under the PDP, there have been questions around, is it 11 trillion naira spent on turnaround maintenance, and nothing came out of it. And these are the same people, don't forget, some of them, that are now coming together under the ADC. So it looks like there is enough to go around in that sense. So do you have anything to say to that? Or do you admit that, yes, these people failed at that, and it's left to Nigerians to now decide what decision they want to make on them?
I really didn't get that.
You talked about the refineries, and you know that under the PDP, trillions of naira was spent for turnaround maintenance. So I'm asking that, are you admitting indeed that these same people coming together, some of them were responsible for that failure under the PDP government? Because there's enough to go around.
I do not know if there's anybody in those coming together who functioned in the position of the Minister of Petroleum. I am not aware. But I want to say clearly here, and I think I've said it even on this platform, that we cannot continue in sin and expect grace to abound. So because PDP made an error, made a mistake, then APC that promised change will now come and repeat the same mistake. I think we are taking the ordinary Nigerians out there for granted. So let's take another issue.
All right, Mr. Ologwudiyan, let's talk about the ADC. One of the challenges, and we're going to unpack it in phases. Let's talk about the integrity profile and the quality of the leadership of the ADC. Some people have said this, like we are running in circles because it looks like they're the same set of people after all, but beyond the same set of people argument or narrative, the issue around their quality of service when they were in office, they pointed to persons like Peter Obi, Nasser El-Rufai, people like the vice president, the list is on, even your boss, David Mark. One of the flags that was used against him is to the effect that he was the one that said maybe mobile phone is not for the poor. You know, those are the narrative out there. How does the ADC intend to unpack? The reason I'm asking this is because you've clearly said, look, you can be in the PDP and work anywhere, just like others are doing, because that looks like armed force politics is more like what is happening right now in Nigeria, especially with the opposition. So how does the ADC intend to walk themselves out of this first? Because people have to believe in you to support you.
Well, call it any name, Geoffrey. What I have seen is that rather than confront their issues, much as I don't speak for ADC, and I will not speak for ADC on this platform as we are seated here, much as I will not do that, I think the issues, the conversation which has been raised by ADC should be of interest to those who are in government and not attack on personalities. We've done that over and over and over. Where has it taken the nation to? It hasn't taken us anywhere. So what are the conversations that are being raised? What are the disposition of the ADC in respect of life, in respect of humanity, in respect of governance? I think this should be the direction of thought. I think as agenda setters in the media, I think that is the conversation that we should look at. The issue of personality is neither here nor there. Because whichever angle you go to, whichever way you look at it, whether in the PDP, whether in the ADC, whether in the APC, whatever you want to take, you can get and get in abundance. But I believe that if we do not want to fail this democracy, if we do not want to continue to fail Nigerians, then we should look at the issues in the conversation, not personalities. I've listened to a lot of people. Some people even said that, oh no, they cannot get anywhere, they cannot do this, they cannot do that. When you sit down in your own house or in your farm, and you think that you have the biggest farm, you might not have the advantage of looking at what the other person is doing. And because of that, you are going to judge them on account of what you have in your room or what you have in your farm.
All right.
So that's where I want to react.
All right, Mr. Lobodia.
Let me make it clear.
Okay.
Let me make it clear. I do not speak for ADC.
Yes, I understand. I understand perfectly.
The person who speaks for ADC.
Yes.
The person who speaks for ADC is Malam Bolaji Abdullahi. So if you want any question, ADC.
I understand, but you're hobnobbing with the ADC. I know Bolaji Abdullahi is the one that speaks to the ADC. So since your boss is already there, David Mark, and you are already there, well, we can ask you the question. The reason we raised that question is to the effect that Bola Tinubu, the president, has reeled out his own policy direction. It's as clear as crystal. The impact is as clear as crystal. There are those who support him and those who don't even want to see him secure a second term. And for them, they are looking for alternative, which is why the probing of personalities and their track record is quite consequential to know whether they will join that ship in supporting them or not. I hope you understand, Mr. Olubodinyo.
Well, I agree with you. I'm not opposed to people probing their personalities. What I do not support is personal attack. Personal attack. If PDP brings, if the ADC brings out the presidential candidate, and if PDP can manage to bring out one, or they are going with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then you can place them side by side and say, you do this, you did that. Oh no, we cannot support you for this, we cannot support you for that. I agree with that. But when you begin from the onset, because you have become worried, because you have become harassed, because you have become disturbed, that another group of people are coalescing to raise a political platform, then you go after personal attacks. Look, let me tell you something, Geoffrey. Nigerians out there, they can discern, they understand, they know those who have failed them, and they know those who haven't failed them. They know those whom they can give a litmus of believability and say, oh, let's try this. They know them. So let us get to that moment. You see all these personal attacks, wallahi, they're not going anywhere. I'm being honest with you. Nobody's taking them serious.
Oh, Mr. Lobodia.
Maybe in the media space, maybe in the agenda setting, maybe you can say, oh, they insulted this one, they insulted that. But you see to the ordinary person out there, who can no longer feed Geoffrey, who can no longer fuel his car, who can no longer pay for his medication, is out there looking for a replacement for this misguided administration.
Well, Mr. Olubodinyo, we don't focus on personal attacks here. We stick to the issues, and the matter of integrity is very, very important. We can predict what you will do based on what you have done. So it's important to look at all of the figures for the Nigerian people as well. A lot of them have not forgotten, by the way, when you said the people are intelligent. They know, they remember who was in PDP in the past. And if you said that they were in the Minister of Petroleum Resources, come on, Mr. Olubodinyo, they can speak to these issues. If they see something is wrong, trillions have been spent on refineries. The vice president could have spoken, the FCT minister, Nasir El-Rufai could have spoken, the governor of Rivers State, oil-producing state, Rotimi Amechi, could have spoken out against it. I mean, even with the president when the issues around, indictment, drug-related issues of forfeiture came up, it was a big deal. It still is a big deal. So integrity is very important in politics. It's important to show people that at least we have right-standing men and women in government so that they can also take a toll from that and basically live their lives right. But I just want to ask you, as we begin to wind down, we spoke with the former Deputy Governor of Lagos State yesterday, Madam Akerele Bokna, and she's still a member of the PDP, right? And she was of the opinion that, people living may just be living from frying pan to fire. I don't know if you caught that part of what she said. And she says for her, she's not going anywhere. She's still in the PDP. So I wonder what you have to say to that. Is that something you're also considering, possibly moving from frying pan to fire in the ADC?
Well, let me take it up from the position of integrity that you have raised. There's no question about that the ordinary Nigerian can discern. But the ordinary Nigerian who can discern the issue of integrity can also discern the fact that their life is worse off. I hope you take that also. There's no problem about looking at issues of integrity. And I'm not accusing Channels Television of attack. I didn't say that you are attacking personalities. I never said that. But just as Nigerians can discern on the issues of integrity, they also know which government has made their life worse off. On jumping from fire pan to fire, I have told you I have not formally resigned my membership of the PDP. And I've given you the reason why I have not done that. I have told you that I need to have a consultation back home. That once I have done that, whatever direction that the people agree to go, I will follow in that direction. That's the way it is.
Well, it's not for you, actually. It's for the generality of people moving. But it's a very, very tricky situation, we must say. But ultimately, we hope that the desire for the people who are coming together, either the coalition or some strategic arrangement, is the everyday Nigerian. So we're able to at least do better for them as a government, because we do not deserve to be here as a nation. But Mr. Lobodinyo, you've spoken quite well, so we look forward to the outcome of your meeting with your people.
So either his resignation or his staying.
Geoffrey, I know your expectation, but whatever it is, it will be what it is.
Mr. Lobodinyo, I think we all know what it is, but would allow you to show us what it is.
No, you are guessing. Nowadays, you are guessing.
We don't guess here. We work based on data.
You don't know what it is yet.
We work based on data, Mr. Lobodinyo. But we have to thank you so much for your time. We're speaking with the former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Kola Lobodinyo. Thank you and wish you the best.
Thank you very much.